Behold, harlots, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. Those words were embroidered in my crib bumper, and apparently I kicked at it so hard my fat little foot went right through the slats. But I hadn't begun to know real shame until grammar school. Sister Nazaretta took it upon herself to teach us sex education, and she called on me to recite the guidelines. 1, necking, which is anything from the neck up, is not a sin, as long as you keep your mouth closed. 2, petting, which is anything from the neck down, is a mortal sin and will make you pregnant. And 3, this is my tabernacle down there, and only my husband will have the key. Oh, I dreamed about that husband with his special key. I'd lie in bed and fantasize about the crossing guard, Anthony Malatesta, who moonlighted at the A&P and filled my pockets with animal crackers. He was my husband. We'd get into bed on our wedding night, and the pillow would be Anthony, and I'd press up against him real hard and rub up and down until one night, not again! Shame on you, you little tart! This will be the source of your eternal damnation. Knock it off or you'll go straight to hell. So my mother was determined to get me married off. She took me to weddings every Saturday. Me and my best friend, Johnny Autorino, we'd travel all over the Archdiocese of Newark. People we didn't even know. Ooh, Bernie, do you think they're going to have ring bearers? I don't think Johnny was interested in marriage. His big dream was to become a crossing guard, like Anthony Malatesta. But then in 5th grade, Sister Mary Perpetua took our class to see the Passion Play in Union City, New Jersey. And right there, during the flagellation of Christ, Johnny decided to become a theater director. And Bernadette, what would you like to be when you grow up? A nurse, a teacher, or a nun? I'd like to be a priest or a rockette. But I soon learned that both those careers were out of sight. So I decided to become a saint. Sainthood was not at all removed from the realm of possibility. Those were my role models. And according to Monsignor McSorley, there weren't even that many requirements to become a saint. You have to perform a miracle. God or Mary have to appear to you, or you have to become the Pope. Of course, it was a whole other matter trying to decide what kind of saint I wanted to be. Oh, God. In 7th grade, it was the hermit saints. Then when I got my period, I assumed I had become a stigmata saint. Then in 10th grade, when I was named Outstanding Catholic Youth of the Year, Monsignor really got on my case about becoming a nun. I don't know, Johnny. The convent could be a stepping stone to sainthood. Yeah, but Bernie, nuns and priests can't get married. And by that time, I was dying for that husband with his special key. Then I found out about the martyrs. Martyrs can get married. You can be a martyr no matter what. Well, as long as you're Catholic and you're willing to die. Boy, was I willing to die for the church, for my family, for America, but especially for boys. Chick-a-la-chick, chala-chala, chick-a-la-chick, chala-chala, Our Lady of Sorrows, ooh-la-la, cheap little whore. Everybody else's daughter can jump up and down. She has to embarrass the whole family and turn upside down. And her poor mother, setting up in the stands with Monsignor McSorley and her goddamn dress goes up over her head. You think Monsignor didn't see all the way up to her Blarney Stone? The dirty thing. And her poor brothers. Now how will they run out onto that football field with their heads up? That's it. No more cheerleading. My father used to get so upset about everything. He'd run after me with the strap and I'd take off very fast. But he had the limp and I felt guilty, so I'd slow down and let him catch me. What? You're taking me off cheerleading? You'd never pull a thing like that on my brothers. Take them off a team or anything? Because they're boys. Who's the patron saint of pregnant women hoping for boys? Saint Felicity. And hoping for girls? None listed. You are not taking me out of dance class. Oh, yeah? I'm getting out of here. I'm going to be a rockette. I'll show you.
Number 439. 439, Bernadette O'Connell.
My right fan kicks? Just on the right side? Okay, no problem. My hair, I could straighten that. I have a travel iron. And my nose is no problem. I usually shade it. Lose 10 pounds? I'll lose 50 pounds to be a rockette. Just give me a week. You won't even recognize me. So, how low can low self-esteem go?
Greyhound Express to Boston, South Station, now boarding on platform 21 on lower level.
Operator, I want to make a person-to-person collect call to Johnny Autorino in New Jersey, 201-555-5323, from Bernie O'Connell. And operator, if someone should pick up the phone and say Sizzler and it's not Johnny, hang up. Hi, thank God it's you. I've been trying for 2 days. Yeah, I went to the tryout. Yeah, I did kick the highest. They said lose 10 pounds and come back. Listen, Johnny, I'm in the Port of Authority. No, I'm not coming home. Yeah, my parents miss me so much they forgot to look for me. I know, but I'm making new friends. The hippies are so nice. They let me crash with them on the lower level. And you meet people from all over the world here. Like I met this guy, Brooklyn Bobby from Puerto Rico. He's an athlete. Semi-pro football in San Juan. Plus, he told me he had been the toboggan champ at Dannemora, this college in upstate New York. So I figured he was a jock and I could trust him and all, because he said if I needed money, he would, which I do, he would hire me to sleep in his car, kind of like a private security guard, for $7 a night. Of course I was afraid, but I said to myself, Bernie, stop being so suspicious. It's a job and a roof over your head. So we started driving, looking for a safe place to park it, but we went awfully far uptown, way past Radio City and over a bridge. And he said it was Queens and he had family there. But pretty soon we were in a very deserted area with tall grass, and he parked the car and ripped open my dress. The nice white one Mr. Kane gave me after his wife died. And I told him it was a dead woman's dress, but he just ripped off the buttons and tore it to shreds. And I was trying to scream, John, but no sound came out. So I started begging. I told him I was Catholic, and I never did it before, but he just kept sticking his thing in me harder and harder, and all I could see was blood. Well, I pretended I was dead, thinking he'd stop, and I could feel the car moving again, and I opened the door and jumped out. No, now he gets real mad, throws me back in, and it got worse and worse. And I was praying to God, please take me, please, I can't take this anymore. And then I remembered St. Cecilia. Remember how she suffered? Her head half off, and she never complained. But then everything went blank, and the next thing I know, the sun's coming up, and I'm laying next to a dumpster up 41st Street. The police told me I was asking for it. They said I shouldn't walk around like this, all hair and legs, or stuff like that could happen. I can't come home. I'm so ashamed. And I found out something about myself. I'm not really willing to die. No, I'm going to stick it out here till I make the Rockettes. Then you can come in and we can celebrate. Because Johnny, You know the good part of all this? I lost 5 pounds. A 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 pounds. Yes, I did it. I lost it. I am. I'm in. Oh, thank you. Thank you. My family thanks you. My parish thanks you. 3 weeks on and 1 week off, then 4 weeks on and 1 week off, 4 shows a day, 7 days a week. Should I be writing this down? Oh, you don't have to pay me. I should pay you. Oh, except there's this one day in October that the Pope's coming to Yankee Stadium. Maybe I could trade with a Protestant girl. Oh, thank you. Other than that, I don't need any time off. And if someone gets sick, can you call me in? Woo! Patron saint of dancers, Saint Vitus. He was cast into a boiling cauldron, but he emerged feeling refreshed and rejuvenated.
This is your 20-minute call. 20 minutes to overture, please.
Honey, you're like a hen on a hot griddle. Hold still now till I get the slap on your face. Let's see you smile. That's better. You got to just be happy out there. Hell, I played county fairs before this. You ever dance in manure? You will. Christmas show. In the nativity scene, the newest girl always gets to walk right behind the camel. Anyways, for me, this is just a stop along the way to the Miss America pageant. I just want to polish up my tap for the talent competition. Or find a husband. Oh, honey, don't cry. Come on now. I know you're having a rough time. You think all men are like that Brooklyn character. Hell no. You'll start meeting a much better class of men now. Take, for example, the Christmas show. The guest artists are going to be West Point cadets. Now, they're real marriage material. They're smart, they're rich, and trustworthy. Hell, they get appointed by congressmen. Well, married. Knockers up. While I was kicking and kicking and kicking my way to stardom, the brilliant Johnny Autorino was getting scholarship offers from several top colleges. His father, Sal, the police chief, wanted him to accept Notre Dame so he could try out for the football team. Notre Dame burn. Why? So I could be Indiana's designated state sissy? I want to go straight into theater. Listen, Johnny, I was thinking, if you have to go to college, maybe they wouldn't mind if you came to Fordham. It's Jesuits. And there's so much more theater in New York than there is in Indiana. And then we could room together. Oh, it's so great here. And you know how I always wanted a sister? I mean, besides you, of course. Well, now I have 35. They are so beautiful and smart. Betty Ann Hammerhand got me this book, 30 Days to a More Powerful Vocabulary, and she quizzes me on it once a week. I'm going to her teacher for accent correction. And I started working on my voice. Laurel teaches me so many things, practical things too, like the difference between a hot water bottle, an ice pack, and a douche bag because I had hurt my knee. Louise taught me how to straighten my hair by using my head as one big roller. And everybody warns me, stay away from musicians. Not that musicians would want to date me anyhow, because guess what happened? In the opening number of the Christmas Spectacular, no less. We're supposed to be a great big giant Christmas tree, 5 rows, one on top of the other of Rockettes, dressed like angels with blonde wigs, and the newest girl always gets to be the angel on top. And we rise up to the stage on the big middle elevator. Our hands are folded in prayer, but they said if we felt shaky, we could sneak one hand behind to steady ourselves, which I did. And I'm thinking, this isn't so bad. And as we were rising up, I was so awestruck to look out at the audience and that gorgeous theater with the arcs of light and the way the aisles slant up to the lobby with the Art Deco design and the 2-ton chandeliers. It's how I always pictured heaven. Up, so graceful. And I was just taking it all in and thanking God for the privilege. And then I was even with the third mezzanine, and the conductor was 3 stories below me. And I looked down and threw up all over Betty Ann Hanrahan, who had been so nice to me. Well, thank God she was wearing the wig. The musicians started pointing me out in the cafeteria. I feel like such a jerk. But I can't wait for you to see the show for the finale. We're doing that March of the Wooden Soldiers that everybody loves so much. And I forgot to mention, Laurel thinks I'm ready to start dating. She's fixing me up with a West Point cadet. He's Catholic, Irish Catholic. Oh, Kevin, I love Central Park. So beautiful. And I've never been in one of these handsome cabs before. Do you think they take good care of these horses? I'm not worried about them. I was just wondering. So, how do you like West Point? You are so lucky. Oh, well, I don't think you would have been appointed if you weren't great military material. Oh. How long were you in confinement? 30 days? Wow, I'm so sorry. I am? I'm your first date since you got out? Well, this is quite a privilege. Kevin, stop. Come on, are you crazy? We're both Catholics here. Driver, stop. Help, somebody please help. Get off of me, get off of me. No! Oh my God, Johnny, I'm just freaking out. This guy Kevin was like a maniac, or maybe he was on something. When he dragged me into the bushes, the buggy driver trotted off. I guess he didn't hear me. And I don't know why, because I was screaming, and this time, sound came out. That's the voice lessons. I know what you're thinking. Rape me once, shame on you. Rape me twice, shame on me. Who would I report it to? General Westmoreland? This guy Kevin lies like a rug, and everybody believes him. He says I came on to hit. He told the other cadets that I gave him blue balls, which I think you can die from. Maybe my father was right. Maybe I am giving off something funny. All those girls, beautiful girls, but it had to be me. Mary, I'm sorry I haven't been here. Please forgive me. I thought that playing King Balthazar in the nativity scene 35 times a week would make up for my missing mass. But now I know. I need an intercession. Something terrible happened, Mary, again. I know I don't deserve any good in my life right now, but I can change. Look at Mary Magdalene. She was a sinner and she came back. Please send me a good man. Someone who really believes in the sanctity of marriage. A Catholic, of course. And I swear, I'll never bother you again. Fern, honey, look in the pit. Clarinet player with the real hair. Oh, the others have to wear those hair pieces so the lights don't reflect off their heads. Matthew Kachachian. He's straight. Isn't he cute? He's single. I'd date him myself. But I'm holding out for an orthopedic surgeon. He's Armenian, but he looks Catholic. I fell in love with Matthew Kachachian. At the end of every performance, while the Rockettes held for applause, Matthew's eyes always met mine. I knew Mary had sent him. Then for the summer show, my lineup spot turned out to be right over the woodwind section. My only concern was that for the first time, Matthew would be seeing me up so close on stage. See, the other girls were very together. They barely glistened. Me, I sweat like a pig. So I picked up some Mitchum antiperspirant and put it all over my body, head, face, arms, hands, all the way down, except the soles of my feet. By the final lineup, sweat was gushing out of my tap shoes. Each kick sprayed a different section of the orchestra pit until splat! Oh my God, Maddie. Ow. Oh my God, Matthew. Woo. When I slammed into the footlights, I really banged my knee. Ow. Oh. I look pretty good though, huh? At least my hair didn't frizz and I stayed dry. Hon, you could have died from clogging up all of your pores. I like sweat. Sweat makes me horny, huh? Huh? Hey, you better marry me. To me, one and only daughter, the beautiful bride. Look at her. She hasn't been this covered up since their first Holy Communion. And to me, new son-in-law, who's already had the good sense to get her out of that Radio City harlot hall and back into the suburbs where she belongs. Cheers, everyone. Slancha. Step right up to the bar. Maddie, I'm back. Any messages? Hun, you're going to be so proud. You know those coupons we got in the welcome wagon basket? Well, I took them to the 1 hour Martinizing, and they did your shirts better than I could have done it myself. Hun, I take the whole day off to spend some time with you. How about a little blowjob? Matthew, stop! Ooh. Anyway, on the way home in the car, I was thinking, if I hadn't hurt my knee, I might have been a Rockette forever. And I've been really wanting to get into the legitimate theater. Plus, once I hit 25, it's going to be all over for dancing. And Johnny would hire me for one of his plays if he thought I was really serious about my acting. And hun, I was thinking about keeping my own name. Kachachian might limit me to Armenian roles. Yeah, you and Cher. I bet Sonny gets blown a few times a day. Honey, stop! Cher does not have bad knees. Honey, stop. Not now. I mean it. Stop. I said no, God damn it. Get off of me. Get off of me. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. No, don't touch me. Just give me a minute. Oh my God, Maddie. I had another one of those flashbacks. Maddie? Matthew, I swear I'm going to start seeing a head shrinker. Maddie? Matthew? Please call the producers of Broadway Scandals. Matthew? You know that off-Broadway show I tried out for? I think I got it. I did. I got it. I even got my own song, Bubbles in the Bathtub. I even got a full-page picture in the New York Post. The show took place in a speakeasy run by gangsters. What we didn't know was that our producers were gangsters too. At the end of 3 sold-out months, they closed the show and ran off with the profits. But you know the good part? My knees got a chance to heal in the tub. So I figured I was ready to go back to the Rockettes. Matthew was weird about it. So I auditioned for other things. To get in shape for tryouts, I took ballet class with Laurel. Bird, honey, I'm so glad we could take this class today because this is not a telephone conversation. And I hate to be the one to have to tell you, but I have seen your husband on numerous occasions sneaking, would you believe, into the great organ room, where he has been in true musician style, cheating. No, yes, with Bunny. Bunny with the big butt? Yes. I feel responsible for the whole damn mess. Oh my God, Laurel, how could he do this now? We just found out I'm pregnant. Pregnant? Pregnant. What a prick. Oh, honey, what about that movie you just got? I don't think they have pregnant burlesque queens. I know, but my pregnancy book says I won't start to show for at least 3 months. 6 months later, the night they raided Minsky's was still shooting. I was just praying we'd wrap before I went into labor. Shimmy right, shimmy left, grind and grind. Boom. Oh no! Oh my God! Oh no! Oh my God! Oh, Matthew Kachachian, where the hell are you? 10 fingers, 10 toes. Daniel Callahan Kachachian. Johnny Matty never showed. He had a club gig. Want to go to Uncle Johnny? I had to rely on St. Ramon de Nonatus, patron saint of labor. Burn. St. Ramon's mother died in childbirth. Oh, just kidding. Oh, shh. Oh, he's so handsome. A real O'Connell. Although he does have those Kachachian eyebrow. Just kidding. So Danny Kaye, who's the patron saint of unhappily married women? Yeah, that would be St. Wilgefortis. Her father was the king of Portugal, and he wanted her to marry the king of Sicily, but she wanted to remain a virgin, so she prayed to be ugly, and she grew a beard and a mustache. Her father was so embarrassed he had her crucified. Well, honey, maybe you better pray to her. I mean, what, are you going to get a divorce? Your father will have you crucified. Look, you done your time in the burbs. Take this tour. Matty can fend for his own damn self. Tomatoes? Your leotards have been in mothballs for 6 years. You go to one audition and you get the job. That's a miracle would qualify you for sainthood. I'd kill to work for Shirley MacLaine. Read her book. It's real inspiring. Hell, if I read it before, I might have held out instead of settling for a chiropractor. Now, let's see. You prefer Swiss, cheddar, or Fatah? Fatah. Yeah, I could visit Johnny in London. He's got a big hit on his hands with that Braziers of Atlantis. And then he doesn't start school till the fall. Wow, I could show him the world. You are not taking the kid on tour. He's already signed up for the friggin' hockey camp. You think those crooks are going to give me the deposit back? Man, who do you think you are? One of Shirley's gypsies? We did all Shirley's greatest hits. Hey, Big Spender, Steve, Pete, if they could see me now. We played dozens of countries. Danny loved the travel. He learned how to tell time in Greenwich, how to bargain in Mexico, how to read a menu in Paris. Working, taking care of my kids, they'd never believe it. They'd never believe it. I couldn't believe it. Suddenly it was September. Time for Danny to go back home to Maddie and start school. Time for the show to move on to Amsterdam. Danny and I piled into a taxi and headed for Heathrow. And I started thinking, how am I going to get through this? And then the driver farted. We laughed all the way to Danny's gate, where a flight attendant hung the sign around his neck. Unaccompanied minor. I watched him walk down the ramp holding her hand. trying not to lose it in front of them. They disappeared around the corner. And then Danny popped his head back around and gave me a thumbs up. 3 more months of counting the days, 3 more months of lonely nights, 3 more months so I could hold my Danny again. We came back to New York and Broadway to get ready for Shirley MacLaine at the Palace. The opening night party was a tavern on the green. It was such an amazing, romantic spring night. You could see the cherry blossoms just about to burst. Couples all over the place. I was actually wishing Matthew was with me instead of waiting back at Sullivan's Tavern listening to my father rant and rave. On my way out to Central Park West to get a taxi, all of a sudden I felt a guy over my right shoulder. Then there were 2 of them with knives. Try to establish eye contact, speak with authority, kick him in the balls and run like hell. What do you want to ruin your lives? Look at this ring. Beautiful. You could get $2,000 for this ring. Take it. It's yours. And you have potential. You just need an education. Do you know about City College? Yeah! Oh my God, Laurel. Oh, thanks for coming to pick me up. Wow. You were right about those self-defense classes. They really paid off. I'm running back to the party with these guys on my tail. All of a sudden, a car cuts us off. A bunch of cops jump out and throw these kids up against the car. They were just teenagers, Laurel. The sergeant said there had been so many rapes in Central Park that they put on these special teams. And you know what? This time, I didn't panic. You see, that is pure Shirley MacLaine turning point power. I know, I held them off till the cops got there. But still, it almost happened, but it didn't. Okay, honey, you know the drill. Repeat after me. My past is like my ass. I put it behind me. Danny, you cannot play hockey in the dining room. Give me that puck. Bob, sometimes I pretend this puck is your head. Boy, Dad's right. You are a wacko. Oh, what? Matthew, how could you say such a thing in front of our son? If you're not going to come to counseling with me, I'm going to have to take Danny and move back to the city. Go. Leave the car, the credit cards, the checkbook. How are you going to afford to live in the city now that Shirley's closed? Who else is going to hire an over-the-hill dancer? No one. After weeks of searching, I was desperate to find a job and move back to the city. I saw an audition listed backstage for a show down the village called Let My People Come. I am? I'm in? Oh. Once again, I got my own song. Felici, Felici. Oh my God, I didn't want anyone to know I was doing this, including me. I didn't even know who I was anymore. But the money was good. I moved Danny into the city and I got my 1 bedroom and I got my 1 bedroom. And after 463 fellatio OOs.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lionel, your favorite stage manager, calling half hour and reminding you that a news crew will be attending the performance tonight. If you do not want to be interviewed, Actors Equity advises you to go straight to the dressing room.
Geraldo! No, I don't want to be interviewed. Please, my family will be devastated. They watch Eyewitness News every night. Jesus Christ, Sonny, will you change the fucking channel and bring us around to Boilermakers? Well, Matthew, her greed for money has finally driven her to the depths of hell. I tell you, she's not fit to be a mother. And if you were to ask me, Matthew, I'd be the first one to stand up in a court of law if I'd had to and say so. I cried so hard I got a black eye from the back. That Sunday, Matthew, who was no longer speaking to me, took Danny to a hockey game. I was feeling slightly suicidal. So naturally, I called Johnny Autorino and poured my heart out. He was just back from a gig on the West End. He had been going through his own changes, but he came right over. Darling, you must remember this. The woman always gets custody. Not if they suck at parenting. You don't suck. No matter, the woman always gets custody. Not if they don't have any money. Maybe I shouldn't have quit the show. Maybe it was a mistake. I don't think so. Let's get you a new look for the custody hearings. We'll straighten the hair, get you a suit, something simple yet smashing. I know just the thing. I read all those rags that have initials. GQ, HG, WWWD, L. Besides, you'll never meet a man when you're dressed like that. I'll never meet a man when you're dressed like that. My shrink says forget about men for now anyway. I can't date with Danny. Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. I mean, what's with the accent? Oh, darling, I'm thinking of becoming British. And leave America? No, I'll work both sides of the pond. You know how Americans love British directors. And also, I'm thinking about changing my name. I feel I need something more dramatic, like Sebastian. What do you think of that name for the new me? Sebastian Autorino? No, Sebastian, one word, like Liberace. Oh, don't worry, my darling. The woman always gets custody. Danny, you don't have to take everything back to Maddie's. You're still coming here on the weekends. Do I have to? Yes, you have to. So at least leave a hockey shirt or two. Oh, honey, please don't dribble the ball in the apartment. Let's take a break and go out on the veranda. It's a fire escape. Not for tonight. Wait till you see. We have the twinkle lights, the bug candles, and you can sit in the Riverview seat this time. Come on, the briquettes are ready. Put away the ball. You can have one hot dog. You're not going out to their house on an empty stomach. They'll think I can't feed you. You can't, because you can't cook. I'll go to McDonald's with Maddie and Buddy. Danny, I am trying to cook. I don't care what crap they eat. On our last night together, you are going to eat a decent meal. I said no. Can't you get that through your head? No, I can't get that through my head. That's because you're unstable. Unstable! An unstable and unemployed naked erotic dancer who is unable to provide for the physical, emotional, and moral welfare of her son. You little shit! You get out on this fire escape right now and eat a goddamn hot dog. Oh, I'm telling Maddie you cursed me. Yo, Maddie, I'll be right down. Oh my God, honey, I'm sorry I got angry. Honey, Danny! Sebastian was wrong. The woman does not always get custody. The body of Christ. The body of Christ. The body of Christ. Bernadette O'Connell, what the hell do you think you're doing here? Darling, what were you thinking? You're a divorced harlot. I'm a depraved homosexual. Sainthood is out of the question. Oh, save the tears. If we're not good enough for the Pope's not good enough for us. We'll explore other religions. There must be one that's more about love than shame. Well, I'm off to Rome to do Bohème. As an act of solidarity, I shall moon the Vatican from my balcony. No more church. No more sun. Well, thank God I was cast in a movie that was shooting in LA. Concord Airport 79. I got sucked out of the plane when George Kennedy opened the cockpit window and shot flares outside. Not really a career move, although it did fetch me an agent and a string of meaningful roles, such as that of a detective in a movie of the week called A Killing Affair, starring O.J. Simpson. I swear. As often as possible, Danny would come to LA and I would fly to New York, and we were doing pretty well considering the guilt, the passive aggression, the guilt. But actually, I felt like a much better mom than when I was slumpering around full time. Then one day, Bernadette, listen, Danny's getting on Bunny's nerves here, you know. Yeah, well, we got the 2 kids now. It's getting kind of hard to make ends meet. So we were wondering if you wanted to come back to New York and take some responsibility. Take responsibility? I would have cleaned toilets to make it work out. But I didn't have to. I'm in a chorus line. I shared a dressing room with the girl who played Val. She sang that song about tits and ass. Gorgeous. Looked like she'd been photoshopped. Teeny tiny, weeny little waist, nice new set of perky boobs, silky straight blonde hair that she wore in pigtails. On our way out to the stage, we would stop at the full-length mirror. Oh my God, I'm so fat. Oh my God, thank you for this job. She was so beautiful. She did lots of TV interviews. I did radio. When I first joined the cast, they sent me over to WBAI with my friend Sammy. He had just won the Tony Award for playing Paul, the gay dancer whose parents catch him working in drag, dressed like Anna Mae Wong. Anyway, Sammy and I used to take the subway home together, but on this particular night, he had a hot date. So after the interview, his new boyfriend was waiting in the lobby. Father Tim, Bernadette O'Connell, Our Lady of Sorrows. Hi. I swear. But even with a great part like Sheila in a big hit show like A Chorus Line, the best apartment I could afford was a 5-flight walk-up in the Village over the Pink Pussycat. A well-stocked boutique featuring a full line of adult exotic paraphernalia, which to my teenage son was better than a penthouse on Park Avenue. And when it came to his physical, emotional, and moral welfare, we were right on top of it, Sebastian and me. We just got really into this parenting thing for a few years. Forget about a social life, except for an occasional opening. Oh, and the Chorus Line longest running show reunion. Everyone who had ever done the show the first time was on stage or in the aisles of the Schubert Theater. The party was afterwards in Schubert Alley. Sebastian and I flirted with just about everyone there. But we wound up walking home together in the wee hours. Thanks. I know these things are torture for you. Not at all. It's lovely to attend a social event that's not a wake for a change. God, I know. Wow. Well, thank God you're careful. Yes, obviously not careful enough. Oh, why do you think I'm so skinny? No, I don't want any drama. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's certainly not your fault that I got sick. Perhaps I was just asking for it. Look, everything will be all right as long as I keep working, keep busy. And thanks to my opera divas, I'm off to Rome once again, which is fabulous. The Italians have a promising new treatment. So while I'm there, I'll be having my blood changed. Sebastian got his blood changed, but it left him just too weak to work. So he came back to his apartment in New York. Sebastian! Sebastian! Honey? Did you take your medicine? I got your mail. You are so popular. Let's see. Landlord taken care of. Actors Fund sent them something. Blue Cross Blue Shield. Maybe it's a check. Dear Mr. Otterino, oh, it's just a form letter. It's of course, I always tell you the truth. Okay. It says you have reached your lifetime limit for benefits. I told you it's a form letter. They say that to everyone. We'll appeal. We'll call the Actors Fund. You have a whole bunch more stuff. Junk, postcard. She's coming to New York. Serena Light Feather Workshops Inc. Confirming 2 spaces in her Healing the Sexual Scars of Religion workshop. Honey, you're doing really well. Do you think you're up to this? Darling, if Serena Lightfeather can come all the way from Arizona, the least we could do is get your excommunicated Pudenda and my evil ass into a taxi and down to Soho for the workshop. Oh, come on, Sebastian. You know I hate that new age crap. At the workshop, we met this computer geek from Queens, Noah. He asked me out on a date to go camping upstate. Not exactly my type, but Sebastian thought it was time I tried an outer barrow man. So I hiked into the woods with Noah, wearing a pair of mules. I don't think Noah thought I was his type either. It was a different world. Pure. Like real church. Nothing religious, but so spiritual. Oh, Noah, I wish Sebastian could have been here. I think he wouldn't be so afraid of dying. You get such a sense of the ongoingness of life. Noah insisted that we go back to the city and get him. And I said, even if we got him up here, there's no way he could possibly hike into the campsite. And then Noah, the computer geek from Queens, who is not my type, said, I'll carry him. He did. As we gazed across the crystal clear water, Sebastian whispered in my ear, darling, has it occurred to you that after all these years, your type has not proven all that successful? The federal government approved protease inhibitors 1 month after Sebastian died. He wanted his ashes spread out west. Sedona, darling, it's the only place to be scattered. And while you're there, I've booked you into Serena's latest Goddess Within workshop, which coincidentally takes place at her Sedona retreat. Promise you'll go. So I drove cross country with Sebastian's ashes buckled into the passenger seat. At Flagstaff, it hit me. Sebastian, I hate this new age crap, but a promise is a promise. So I continued down the mountain from the pine trees to the red rock, and I took Sebastian's ashes looking for the perfect spot. The perfect spot. Oh my God! Oh no! Oh no! It is the perfect spot. And within sight of Serena's retreat. And there they were. Serena and about 17 goddesses in training. During our create your personal trash can meditation, I swear, I just laid there like a lox until we were beckoned to Serena's sacred sexuality honoring Aphrodite's sweat lodge. Now, sweat I could relate to. We lined up naked to get into the tent. You'd think I'd be used to this by now. Yeah, right, in my 20s, maybe. These women had no inhibitions. Short, tall, fat, skinny, young, old, all different colors. Mostly artists and shrinks, but a couple of lawyers and a financial advisor. All of them. They just bent right down and disappeared under the flap. So dark. I was afraid of stepping, or worse yet, sitting on someone. And then Serena led me to a spot in the circle of Aphrodite. Blistering hot. I can hardly breathe. I feel like I'm dying. Oh God, I am. I'm dying. Oh God, what if I do die and they send my body home like this? Then the financial advisor starts weeping. She's lamenting the loss of her Aphrodite. Serena tells her, let go. Those tears are Aphrodite's tears. But the crying escalates and Serena leads her out of the tent. Mia madre, poor thing. I have too much Aphrodite. I like to lose a little. Listen, Toots, be careful what you ask for. Me, I come home, climb into bed, all ready for a hot session. I look across the pillow and say, I'm sorry, I'm just too tired. To my vibrator. She's right. The only way I have to express my sexuality these days is to go shopping. The only way I have to express my sexuality is when I'm on stage. Or when sex is forced on me and I have no control over it. I'm sorry, I just need to be by myself. I began to walk. I know it sounds crazy, but I started to feel like a part of the wind and the trees and the mountains and the rocks. And I felt the sun on my naked body for the first time in my life. And I had one of those eyeshadow compacts that Sephora gives out, with the 43 colors, which I ceremoniously opened and lowered down for a quick look. I actually looked at my vagina for the first time. Had to go all the way to Arizona. Well, it didn't look like the source of my eternal damnation. And as I'm looking down, the earth came into focus, and I'm looking at real, actual dirt. And this beautiful thing, my God, that's how Danny came into this world. It's not separate from the rest of it. It's not separate from the rest of me. And I lingered and studied it. I couldn't move away if I wanted to. It's a vortex, Sedona. My only concern was that the mirror may flash signals to a tour group. So I got dressed and hiked back to the lodge. Serena had taken the rest of the goddesses shopping in town. On the drive back east, I just rolled down my windows, cranked up my favorite Leon Russell CD, and sang at the top of my lungs. I stopped for the night in Oklahoma City, pulled into the parking lot of a Motel 6.
Get back in the car or I'll blow your fucking brains.
Don't panic. 6'5", gray business suit, gun, pearl handle, police cars. Please see me. Please. Please. Shit. Parking cops all over the place. I could jump out if I time it right. God, officer, look. Look. Come on, come on. Shit. So dark, nobody walks. Breathe. Calm. You are not going to rape me. You can kill me, but you are not going to rape me. I am willing to die. Back at the hotel, stunned, numb. Turn on the TV, not really watching. Oh, God, I could no longer call Sebastian. Laurel was back east at a Rockette reunion. It was too late to call Danny. They'd have just gotten the baby to sleep. For some reason, I called Noah just to talk about politics, about anything except what just happened. We stayed on the phone for an hour. And then a segment came on this talk show where the family of a girl who had been raped at 14 and then committed suicide wanted to have a law passed charging her rapist with murder. They'll never pass a law like that. They're two separate crimes. And then Noah tuned in just in time to hear this lawyer say, they'll never pass a law like that. They're two separate crimes. I want to hear you say that out of your ass with your Turnbull and Astor shirt yanked up over your head so your arms are bound and your Armani pants torn and pulled down around your ankles so your legs can't move and a strange dick up your butt while your penis is being ripped off, and tell me from right there, from that place, that it's not murder, because it is. I heard my name being called, and then this quiet man, a few words said, of course, in a sense, it's murder. But then there's that part of you that can never be destroyed. And that part of you is very much alive. I never told him. He just knew. Oh, I married him. Big wedding. My Danny gave me away. Thank God he married an event planner. My little grandson Gus was the ring bearer. And Maddie, my ex, put a band together. My body still jumps to high heavens whenever Noah walks into the room unexpectedly, but we're working on it together. He's offered to wear a cowbell. And remember Betty Ann Hanrahan, the rockette I threw up on? Turns out she's now Dr. Hanrahan. Her field of expertise, post-traumatic stress. Laurel is a big deal over at Career Transition for Dancers. Honey, I think it's time you got your ass on over here and hung up the tap shoes. The career counselor handed me an aptitude test. All this stuff was going through my mind, but somehow I got through it. And when the results came back, guess what I was best suited for? The clergy. As an interfaith, interspiritual minister, I get to study the Bible, the Torah, the Quran. I try to balance my yin and yang. I've written hundreds of sermons. I might visit a mosque on my way to a Seder on Palm Sunday. I love doing weddings, baby blessings, memorial services. But you know the best part? Now I get to counsel survivors of rape. Behold, harlots, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts. Kick! Maybe my father was right. Maybe I am giving off something funny. Kick! Police told me I was asking for it. Kick! Kick! Kick the stigma, kick the shame, kick the status quo, and then kick for happiness. Kick for wholeness. Kick for